street dog going down the street. They're all over the place. The 60,000 person town of Martinez that I went to several times did not have street dogs, but El Diamante and Vega plenty, and here tons. And I've got lots to say about that. Hey, I want to give you a little glimpse of the street scene in the Las Trancas business section where I spend my daytimes at the Coppel store. That's the city bus. I've ridden that a lot. That's a wild ride. You can't get a seat. Holding on where they snake through the curves up the hill. They charge up that hill. It's a wild ride for an old guy. But I see young people taking their hands completely off of anything to hold on to and looking at their phones and stuff. And I'm holding on for dear life. It's a really fascinating place to me. I love the street scene out here. Flowers. They're crazy about flowers in Mexico. I'm crazy about the kids in Mexico. Flower shops everywhere. There's like 2 or 3 in the next block over there. Halloween face painting, really big today. And I still have not figured out what to do for El Dia de los Muertos tomorrow. It's mostly personal. People mostly visit family shrines and stuff. This is the OXXO store. Hola, senor. Yeah. He likes me and I like him. The OXXO store. I, who worked in a convenience store and then fought 7 years in grocery stores and just studied convenience stores everywhere along the road for 3 years. This is the happiest convenience store I've ever encountered. Partly, I think, because they don't have an on-site manager exactly. Miguel is the lead for the cashiers, and he's a very, very funny, supportive, warm guy who's always teasing the other staff, and they just laugh all the time in there, so it's a very fun place to be. These stores, like the Stripes stores that dominated Texas, no music. The OXXO stores, which are the thing in Mexico. You see some 7-Eleven, but no, it's mostly OXXO everywhere. And it's mostly in New York Yankee paraphernalia everywhere. The funniest, and lots of American based sports jerseys and stuff. The funniest one was in Martinez. A guy who on the back had Michael Jordan's 45 on his jersey. I thought, that's the wrong colors for the Bulls. And I went around the front, it was a White Sox. It said White Sox, and it was a White Sox jersey that had Jordan and his number on the back. Whatever outfit had made that, just maybe they intentionally played with it, I don't know. When I took the bus the other day to Plaza de Americas shopping mall, I got off the bus and I had to walk through a honeycomb. I had no idea how extensive Las Trancas is. There's a honeycomb of all kinds of bazaar, like Middle Eastern bazaar, shops and shops and shops. It's so fascinating. So much to explore. And the Coppel store is down the street, and it's a really happy store too. Very happy store. Great music, and both places I dance a lot. Yeah, so the Stripes stores in Texas never had music. And I'd ask them, because everywhere else, convenience stores, they thrive on music. And the only one was Corpus Christi. They had opera blaring, especially out in the parking lot. You could hear it in the store too, but it mostly blared out in the parking lot. And they told me the management, the regional manager or somebody, encouraged stores to do that to get rid of the drifters and the people hanging out. It didn't work at all, but it was really funny. And they said, no, everybody's on board. The staff all love having the opera playing. But this has music, and they've got a Bocinas Bluetooth speaker that the staff pitched in for, and I saw a nicer one the other day also. So that makes it really fun in there. Yeah. So we're already 5 minutes into this. I'm gonna make it clear from the cover that I don't expect you to get to this right away. I want to confide to my buddy about my date tomorrow, which is for sure the biggest big time date I've had in 3 years on the road. Irene. I'm embedded with the O'Reilly family in El Diamante for 3 months, and they had 2 huge parties. The quinceañera party, which was mind-blowing, one of the best days of my whole life. All-night party till 7 in the morning. What a party. 200 people catered at a really great event space. And a cumbia band. I had never heard of cumbia, but it is the greatest Latin dance music. And they do, a song would run 10, 15 minutes, I swear. Oh God, it was great dancing. Well, but then they had a second party a month later, a 100th birthday party for the mom of Miguel Sr., who was the husband of O'Reilly, who was the founder of the restaurant. And at that one, this woman, Irene, came from Jalapa here. She had not been at the first party. And she had clearly fallen far from the family tree. She was obviously much more sophisticated than those country bumpkins in many ways. Really simple, very spiritual, but and laugh. Oh, funny, but not Saturday Night Live raucous humor like I like, and like is my friends Mario and Rubio practiced up here with the whole Pampudas thing. So, but anyway, Irene came to that party. I was struck by her beauty and her presence. She was maybe 45, maybe a little older. Classy. And because of my limited Spanish, we didn't have much conversation. But I do this sneaky over-the-shoulder selfie shot where I can videotape or photograph people when they think I'm looking the other way. And I caught her looking at me. So I knew she was interested. So, and single. And before she left, I, in Spanish, said, I'm coming up to Jalapa, I'd like to visit with you. And she had the sassiest response that just totally won my heart. She says, are you a robber? In Spanish. So, she's cool. And she plays her cards close to the vest. She's an accountant. And somewhere she's got money. I don't know if it's from her accounting work or what. But when I was trying to make a time to visit with her here, she was going to L.A. She said, I'm going to Los Angeles to go for a walk. And I thought sure the translation had been wrong and that she was going to Los Angeles, Mexico somewhere for work. No. She was taking her grown daughter with her to Los Angeles to meet a guy. And she never outright said that. I don't know how I really ascertained that's what it was about. And she wanted her daughter as a chaperone. I thought, well, she may come back from that totally invested in somebody. And I still don't know if that's true. That might be true. But about a week ago, I betrayed in a WhatsApp message that I actually am not just meeting her for her to make suggestions about Jalapa, but that I was hoping we might become friends. With language is the big issue because I don't think she speaks any English. Doesn't even aspire to, as far as I can tell. And then I totally blew my shit on Sunday. She had changed her WhatsApp photo, and I wrote her and said, you know, your old WhatsApp photo was very attractive, but it was not hot. It was not hot like this. It was, I think, her and her daughter on the street in L.A., and I'll send you the picture. She is hot. And some American women would bristle at that at all. But she never hiccuped about it. And my note went on to say, it's fine. No problem. I don't have any problems with that picture. I'm not going to think about it all day. It's El Domingo, Sunday, and my thoughts only go to God. So I let her know that I did have other thoughts. And she hasn't hiccuped over that. She's pretty interesting. She's been pushing me. She's obviously quite interested in my lifestyle. And I think real middle class. There's Marisol, my friend from Coppell. Bye, just said hi. She's real cute. And I said to her the other day, we really like each other, and she's trying to get me the Coppell card. And I said to her, well, what are you, about 28? And she says, I'm 41. I said, well, how do you have skin like that? And she liked the compliment. And I just went ahead and said, so are you single? She says, yeah. And I said, how do you stay single being so beautiful? So, I listened to a really strong podcast on NPR about catcalls and made a very thoughtful video about that this morning that you could check out. It's on YouTube. Really thoughtful, but so different in Mexico. So different in Mexico. So anyway, it's been really hard to get together with her. She was gone for a week. She had a whole lot of catching up to do. And we have a date tomorrow morning for coffee. And but she's been pushing me about my lifestyle. Does this work for you? How do you shower? And so on the one hand, it's been really nice that somebody actually inquires and is interested in all those details. But the other side is, I think she has a little bit of horror about it. And so when today she said, and I've said some stuff about what a happy guy I am and that I had a big spiritual experience and blah, blah. And I don't know how much she's absorbed all that. But when today she said, wouldn't you have better quality of life if you weren't traveling in a camper van? So I very nicely let her know that the Gestalt principle of no unsolicited advice. And I actually did say, none of my important friends have escaped me saying, don't tell me what to do. And when I still really like somebody, I smile when I say it. So I'm in the Coppell store smiling. And she said, I respect that. And I went on this, and then she said, is this bothered you that I'm pushing you kind of like this? And I said, no, I love challenge. And I want you to be really honest. It's just don't tell me what to do. So we both ended up that conversation charged up from it this morning. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It may turn out that we're not a fit. It may turn out that she's too middle class and judgmental. But she is the most appropriate. So dramatically more appropriate than little Maritza at the restaurant. So I'll keep you posted then. So you don't have to see this before that or ever, but I think you'll maybe find it fun, even though you're not in the game anymore.